Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of AirgunwebTV Live. We have got some cool stuff to talk about today, and I hope everybody is doing well and, had a great holiday weekend and had a great Christmas and looking forward to a great New Year's. Let's just talk about some stuff. I know we've got only a few people on right now, but that's okay. They went all to Disney World. Yeah, it could have been. They could have definitely gone out for the evening. Hey there, Gary. Hope you're doing well. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, JDP. Glad you're here. As you guys know, posted a video. I guess it was yesterday of the Daystate Red Wolf, and I mean, what can you say? Awesome airgun. It's not my favorite airgun, and I'm thinking about doing a video. I don't know if I'll get it done before the end of the year here. I'd like to go shoot tomorrow, but weather is terrible. But I would like to show you guys what is personally my favorite air gun as far as small bore, just my favorite. I'd like to show you that. If I don't get to it before the end of the week, I'll definitely do it. We'll do it next week or something. We'll get to it. But I would like to show you guys what my favorite air gun is. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about. We got Airgun Week coming up. Airgun Week is going to be just a week full of videos. I've got some new products to release, which I'm pretty excited about that. So that'll be very cool. We've got some GRiP reviews. I know I've been teasing everybody about GRiP reviews coming out, so we definitely have that. Definitely have that on the hook. So that's actually very, very cool there. So let's see. I think everything seems to be doing pretty good so far. So let's talk about some stuff. First of all, before we get too far into it, I want to remind people to go and check out the GTA giveaway. So let me just pull that up here. It's gateway.airguns.com. And right here on the home page, there's the PCP Holiday Giveaway. Please go visit this. If you haven't signed up to try and win this, please do. It is a great airgun package. We have some great sponsors that have stepped up to give us some really cool gear. Just really quickly, let's just walk through it. We've got the Umrex Origin. This is the non PCP hand pump version. Then we have the Hawk Scope, which this is their new Air Max 30 side focus. Very, very nice scope. Super nice scope. 4 to 16 by 50. And then we're also giving away the JTS compressor. Now this is brought to you by Umrex, Hawk, and Zisico. Airgun Pro Shop, which is a company I own. We're going to do the setup, which has already been done. And we're going to give you guys, whoever the winner is, we're going to give you 1,000 pellets to go play with. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening here. And I mean, gosh, get in on it. It's free. I mean, if you are here in the U.S., it's for U.S. consumers and U.S. Contestants that they can try and win this. And of course, it's got to be legal for you to get it shipped to you and all that kind of stuff. But here it is. This is a very cool package, and I'm looking forward to hearing from whoever wins it. I'm excited to see what they think of it. So if you want to know how this gun shoots, well, let's take a look real quick over here, and we'll zip over to, I don't want to do that. I need to go to, let's go to the Gateway to Airguns website. Okay, so on this just today, we published our first GRiP review, and it happened to be on this very airgun. So if you guys want to see how did this shoot on the range, did it shoot well, was it fun, all that kind of stuff, it is just a cool thing. Daniel, as far as trying to get hold of Umrex, my guess is the holidays, and they probably have a lot of people out. And may just have to be patient until first of the year. Next week, they're also prepping to go to SHOT Show. So just take a moment for here. If you are trying to get hold of vendors and manufacturers over the next couple weeks, it may be tough because they're year-end inventory, all that kind of fun stuff, as well as SHOT Show. Those that are going, it is a crazy time for those guys trying to get everything pulled together. So if you can, try and be a little patient with them. If not, if it's something urgent, try and do your best to reach out, but do realize they're probably going to be shorthanded and going crazy over the next couple months. Anyway, really quickly about this gun, I did this review the other day, and not only do we have the video here, but I also shot at the same time a behind the scenes. So if you guys want to see, sort of what goes into pulling, what goes into pulling one of these videos together, this is a short. I say short; it's 15 minutes long, 16 minutes long. It'll help you guys understand what somebody like myself or Angie. Hi, Angie. Angie just came online. The kind of work we put into bringing these videos to you, because it is a lot more than sitting down at the bench and just having fun shooting for a few minutes. There's a lot of prep work. If anybody that's ever done this knows, there is a lot that goes in to making this whole process happen. And so I wanted you guys to sort of see the whole process, at least a little bit of it, on what the GRiP reviews, kind of what goes into making these things happen. It was a lot of fun just shooting these videos together. And anyway, if you guys enjoy it, please like, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. And the GTA channel's in its infancy. We're going to be publishing all the GRiP reviews there. So if you want to not miss a GRiP review, you need to go register for the GTA and subscribe there. You can also go, let's see here. You can also go and log in, check that later. But right here, we have the whole GRiP gate at Gateway to Airguns. And right in here, you can always, if you subscribe to these, to this group here, you can always get notified of when we have new videos coming out. And then you don't even have to mess with Facebook or YouTube or any of that stuff. You can watch it right here, and you can pick it up and see the video right here and watch it right on the GTA. And here you can engage in conversation and, do posts and, get involved if you guys want to have a communication outside of the normal social media stuff. Then that's what the GTA provides. So please go take a look at that. So anyway, you missed the entry information. If you go real quick, I'll just throw it up here again. I'm going to put the link up here again, and it's also in the video description. So if you guys miss, where everything's at on this, if you go to the video description in the video itself, the link is there. And this contest is running till the end of the year. So get in on it, have fun, enjoy, waiting, see who wins it. But it should be, somebody's going to get a really nice air gun. And one of the things I wanted to chat about was how well this gun did in the GRiP review, and answer any questions people may have on the Origin as a platform, because I think it really is a great air gun. So it kind of dovetails into a topic today that I thought might be interesting. And I know I kind of figured that when I put the video out on the day state, that I would get some interesting comments. Okay, so the day state as a platform is pretty impressive. Let me just pull this picture up. Could just put it behind me, couldn't I? Let me see if I can just put it back there, because that's a cool way to do it. All right, bear with me for a minute, because I think this is kind of a cool way to throw that picture up behind me. You can't hardly see it, can you? Let's do this. This might look more cool. There we go. That looks pretty slick. I'll just sit over here like this. All right. So I knew that when I put the day state video up, it was going to be, it's going to gender some questions. And And I knew that was going to be a potential issue because it is a very high end, dare I say, elitist airgun. It is. When I first started out, and I bet you there's some people that are either can identify with this or may be in the same place. When I first started out, I bought my very first airgun at a gun shop in Charleston-ish, north in Somerville, Moncks Corner area, in South Carolina. Angie probably knows where they are. They're down there off of 17A. Anyway, I bought my first gun there, my air gun, and it was a Remington Genesis. And I took it back within a few days at a bad barrel joint, and it wouldn't stay true. The next gun I bought or traded was a Gammo Hunter, a Hunter 440, and I gave that gun away to my brother-in-law who passed away a few years back. But that was a great air gun. The Hunter 440 or the 440 Hunter was just a really neat air gun. And it was a couple $100. And I thought spending a couple $100 on an air gun was just, just a lot of money. I would rather buy a real gun. That's where my mind was however many years ago that was, 2003, 2004. And then I moved out into the country and started to really want to shoot more. And really the best way to do it was with an air gun. Hey there, Angie. And I wound up then really kind of wrestling with the monetary pricing of air guns because I struggled with buying a $100 air gun at Walmart, $120. I think I spent for a Crossman at some point because I like the scope. You do that when you just start. You see this fancy scope with knobs and adjustable objective and all this stuff. You get tunnel vision on this stuff, and it's easy to do. It's easy to find yourself in this place where you just get sort of saturated with wanting to get more guns and more gear. I struggled for the longest time. I remember when I was shooting, the Holy Grail at the time was guys, it looks like I'm having a few internet things today, so please forgive me if the stream bounces a little bit. I am recording this, and we will post this for everybody to see ungoofiness, but it'll be over on AirgunwebTV. So, Joe, we've got a copy in case it kind of goes and it doesn't keep up with us. Anyway, so the Holy Grail for me was the AWS 350, and that was $500 air gun at the time. That was a lot. A lot of money. I just could not see justifying spending that kind of money. I just could not that in my little brain spend that kind of money, never do it, etc., etc. And then I spent so much money buying guns that were supposed to be like the RWS 350 that I probably could have bought the RWS 350 probably 2 to 3 times over. When it's all said and done. I bought the BAM B28. I bought just a bunch of different guns in the $150 to $200 range. And by the time I was done, really, I probably could have easily bought the 350, but I didn't. And that's part of the learning curve. And then I kind of moved out to Havasu and began looking at air guns a little differently because they were more part of my livelihood. And I remember my first expensive air gun I bought that I actually spent money on, which was AirArms. And AirArms 510 177. Still have that gun. It's probably my wife's favorite gun. Let's see here if I have the option to. I'm running in to just some issues in the stream tonight, folks. I apologize. I will try and not sure what could be pushing. Let me see if I can shut down a couple things on the computer here. That's not doing anything, but we're going to pause it nonetheless. And hopefully we'll be able to finish the show tonight. Anyway, so that began to change my dynamic. Once I spent my first $1,000 on an air gun out of my own pocket, then I saw the difference between a $1,000 gun and at the time maybe a $300-400 gun. There's a difference. There's actually a real difference in that There just is. So when I posted the Daystate video, when we're talking about a $2,900 airgun, give or take, that's a lot of money. I mean, that is certainly not a certainly not something that is you just run out and have a grab a bite of lunch type of a purchase. It's something that has taken me 14 or 15 years to get to, and I love the sport. So the sport of airgunning, when you are into it, and Angie will probably can attest to this. She started out on the lesser expensive stuff and really has enjoyed those and likes them. But as she's been able to shoot more expensive guns, she definitely sees the difference. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't get a lesser expensive gun. By all means, I think that's why the Origin is such a great air gun. Let me go back to just the regular background here. That's why the Origin is such a great air gun. The Origin is a very entry-level gun that shoots and performs above its weight class, which is one of the reasons I like it so much. But as you get into the sport and you start really shooting more guns, you have the opportunity to put your hand on more guns, whether it's a RAW or a Daystate or an FX or an FIREARMS or whatever it is. You find that there is a difference, if not in the performance as far as the raw feet per second and raw accuracy on target. There's a big difference in how the gun feels, how the gun shoots, how it feels. There's a lot of it that you'll find that it is. Is this looking weird? Oh, I see why. There's a lot of it that you'll find that is just. The experience is better. I think that's the best way to put it. So if you're one of those folks that just can't wrap their head around $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 air gun, it's okay. Maybe the sport as that level is not for you. If you're a person that really enjoys shooting and has started to sort of, maybe I want something a little bit nicer. Let me just kind of dispel any sort of hesitation you may have if you really like shooting and you like to shoot something that just has a nicer feel to it. Don't be afraid to go ahead and spend the money on a nice air gun, because it'll really pay off. And when you get to that sort of $1,500 to $2,000 range, basically they're all really good. Okay, so I'm hoping to get an Edgun in here shortly, just so you guys know. An Edgun Leashy 2, maybe, I'm thinking is what I asked for. You get into those, the FIREARMS, all of them are really nice. Daystates are all really nice. The Brocock guns, the Daystate-ish guns, they're all the same thing, just different name. Brocock guns are really nice. I mean, all of these things, they're going to shoot really, really well. So you can find something that just connects with you. Ottoman's another one that shoots. It's a really nice air gun. There's going to be all of these things that you guys can just sink your teeth into and enjoy. So let's see. Let's go ahead and see if we have any questions here. Nothing so far that I can see. I hope everybody is having a great, great week in preparation for New Year. And I wonder what everybody's going to be doing this next New Year, because boy, I don't think the craziness around us is done yet. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. So, so the gentleman's just put up here, a lot of people do have a low opinion of air guns because all they've ever shot is the $100 air gun. That would have been me. That really would have been me, because I had never really put my hands on one that would make me go, oh, well, okay, I get it. Funny story, and I typed this out. There's a gentleman who had this sort of mindset who posted something. You're not kidding. That's Michael shot my Red Wolf. It's impressive. Anyway, so the gentleman who had this thought had posted something on the Red Wolf video, and I remember talking to one of the owners or principals, I don't know who it was at Daystate, but one of the higher ups. And he told me an interesting story. He he said when they first started to bring these guns to market and they do a demo or something, we'll get to the AA question here in a minute, Tanner, that people would go and they'd look at them and go, my gosh, they'd see the cost of the gun, the cost of the equipment to shoot it, all this. Man, how much does this cost? This is, gosh, this is crazy. And that's sort of where they were at. Then they would actually sit down at the bench and they started shooting it. And as they got up from the bench, they would walk back over and say, all right, now, how much does this cost again? The whole same question, same statement, but a completely different intent, because after they'd put trigger time in, it all of a sudden made sense why they would want to go that direction. And I think that's what happens when you get a chance to shoot an FX, for example, like the gentleman was saying here, same opinion until he shot his FX or shot an FX, changes you. I remember one of the very first super high-end guns at the time, because it was purely a boutique gun, was a Raw, and that thing was impressive. I mean, it was pretty awesome. It was definitely a step above anything else I had shot. Jarrett, I don't know anything about lead-free 30 cals right now. I don't have any word on that yet. Hopefully somebody will come up with something, but I don't know of anything right now. Okay, so Tanner's asking about AEA. Brian actually left his AEA here, and I was hoping to get to it, but I have not. Brian, I apologize. He's been so kind to leave me his gun here, and I may just have to wind up buying it from him. And Brian actually talked about that because after shooting some slugs, I realized I need a slug platform. So I actually may need to buy that from you if you're willing to sell it. So we can chat about that later. But from shooting his gun, and from what I understand, there are some differences between what you may or may not get. So there may be some inconsistencies there. But his shoots very well and has power to be power to spare, like lots of power, like 80 foot-pounds in a 22. I think we were able to push it. So we're talking like massive power. So I think that the AEA guns have some potential. I would really love to have a relationship with them, but we'll see. Maybe that'll change over time here. Yeah, no problem, Brian. I know there's no rush. But I'm eager to put some slugs through it. He left me with some slugs, and I shot some slugs over Origin and some slugs. I was just going to get transition to that. So if you watch the behind the scenes video, which was kind of cool, yeah, JDP, I don't know how that's going to work out, but all right, so Brian, I don't know. Do I have the AEA Challenger bullpup? Is that what I've got? I haven't looked at it. I don't know enough about them. So the Origin and Slug. So if you look at the behind the scenes video, you'll see a bunch of pellets on the table, and Brian's been here, Michael's been here. If you go into my testing, into my Connex and look at my testing shelf, I've got a huge rack which is just loaded full of pellets that I use for testing. I don't know, I probably have 50 or 60 different 22 caliber pellets. So I have a lot at my disposal to see what's really going to shoot well. And so in a typical review, we'll just start shooting and see. I mean, we pretty much know JSBs are a good place to start. H&N's a good place to start. RWS on occasion can be pretty good. We'll shoot the Crossman Premiers and some, readily available stuff. And we'll just see where things fall. And from 10, 15, 20 pellets, we kind of know what we're working with. I'm starting to look at slugs, and H&N had very, very nicely. I'll get to that question here in a minute, Rob. The H&N had sent me over some slugs some time ago, and I hadn't done a lot with them because I just didn't have anything that would shoot them well. They just didn't have enough power. And I thought that would have been the case with the Origin, but I wanted to try slugs to see from a GRiP review, and I don't know if you guys know what GRiP reviews are, but Gateway to Airguns has a review program called GRiP. And the point of that is we're not trying to say anything. We're just, this is what the gun did. These are the numbers we got, and hopefully that's useful to you. And that's all that is designed to do. This is the numbers, the shot count, power, accuracy. Here you go. And if this gun, if that lines up with what you want, then you know now. You know. And so I want to try and incorporate some slugs into all of that. So interrupt, please, or I'll just talk for the whole hour. But I shot some FX slugs, and they didn't do good. I shot some knockouts. They didn't do great. But I put those doggone H&N 25 grain slugs in there, and those son of a guns shot like my group the size of my thumb at 50 yards. And I was like, wow, okay, that works. And so I was pretty impressed. 32 or 31, 32 foot-pounds-ish with that. And I was pretty impressed with that. It makes me think that there's probably some other stuff out there that would shoot as well. And I know that Brian left me some stuff. I haven't shot through it yet, but I was pretty pleased. And that particular gun's going to be, that's the one we're giving away. So whoever gets it, if you want to shoot slugs, find yourself some H&N .217s in 25 grain, and you're going to have something that shoots pretty doggone good. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Some questions. So Rob has asked me if they're going to come out with a Gen 2 Seneca Aspen. Don't know. I've got an Aspen or two here. I don't use them a ton, so I can't say the pumps never failed and it really mean anything, because it's not like it's my only gun I would shoot. So I use it and it has always worked. But I do keep it very well lubed. I'm not afraid to throw silicone on it to make sure it doesn't get nasty or whatever. And then I also make sure to not pump it too quickly so that it doesn't get too hot. So I don't know if those are things that other people have not done that have caused the failures, but I've had good success with mine. I tend to fill mine with a compressor in the shop, and then if I take it out hunting, I only top it off with the hand pump. So I don't use the pump to fill it from scratch for empty. And I tend to take a couple shots and then pump it up from there. So if it's 5 to 6 pumps per shot, I may take 3 or 4 shots. In fact, if I'm shooting at something like a rabbit and I take 2 or 3 shots, I'll actually top it off right then instead of taking 15 or 20 shots and then topping it off all at once. Now, whether or not that methodology and that sort of process has meant that my Aspens seem to last longer, I don't know. But that's what I tend to do. I don't put a lot of work on the pump in all at once. I spread it way out so that it's not overworked at any particular time. Maybe that's why mine still are holding up. But again, I shoot mine infrequently, but when I've gone to shoot them, they have always worked. I don't know if that means anything to me. But I don't know if they're doing a second gen, but I do like that platform. I think it's great. So anyway, Tanner, as far as the Origin and the hammer spring, the way I do my videos, unless I specifically say otherwise, I take the gun out of the box and I shoot it. Most of the time, and I mentioned this either I think I mentioned this in the behind the scenes video, or maybe it was in the actual, no, it was actually in the actual video. I don't tend to mess with anything on the gun. I don't take it out and immediately clean the barrel. I don't take it out and tune it. I don't do anything. I take it out, I put air in it, and I shoot it. And that lets me know, one, I think that's really important because, all right, so this is my opinion. Take it for what you will. I just spent $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 on a gun. I want it to work. If I spent, now this, I'm dating myself. You can already tell I'm old, but if I bought a $300 Ruger 1022, I expect to be able to put bullets in it and shoot it. I don't think I should have to take it apart, switch a bunch of things out, tinker with it, and just to make it shoot. Now, the 1022 may be a bad example because out of the box it doesn't shoot great, and everybody puts a ton of time into it to make it do something else. But it does function out of the box. And so I want to show people what these things are doing. Like if you got one and you took it out of the box and shot it, this is what you can expect. To me, I think there's a lot of value there, personally. Now, if a gun doesn't do well out of the box, then I start looking at ways to overcome that issue, and then I'll share that with her. I had to clean the barrel. Like the DAR, I've got the video coming out on the DAR here shortly. That absolutely needed a barrel cleaning. Absolutely had to have the barrel cleaned. And it continued to have it cleaned, even though I sort of lapped the barrel, and it still was needing to be cleaned every few hundred shots. It's just something that needs to be cleaned. And if you're one of the guys that loves cleaning your barrel, you're going to love the DAR. But the accuracy would always come right back to perfect once I cleaned the barrel. You could just start to see it getting out of place and it just come back. But that's like the exception these days. I think about 8, 9 out of 10 times, guns just shoot. I don't have to mess with them. I don't have to clean them. I don't have to take them apart. I don't have to do anything. They just work. I think that's awesome. Why would I want to buy something that I got? It's like buying an RC, an RT, ready to almost ready to fly, and a RTF model, which means you got to build it and then fly it, or an RTF. I prefer the ready to fly stuff. That's me. I prefer the ready to shoot air guns. That's why at Airgun Pro Shop we have ready to go. I mean, just take it out of the box, shoot it. That's what I like. And so I try and look at doing videos that show things in that space. Now, if we have to do work on something, maybe there's just that little turn, and now the gun shoots great. Obviously, we're going to do it. We're going to show you guys so that you can make that same adjustment and hopefully get the same results. But most of the time, I just take it out and shoot it. So all of that to answer Tanner's question. No, I didn't adjust the hammer spring. Sorry, I've lost completely. Forgive my rant there. No, I just, whatever it was set to, Tanner, that's what I shot it. So I didn't adjust anything on that gun. And we had a little wind pickup, so less than ideal on that particular video. I think we're looking. I think multiple things shot inch or sub-inch at 50 yards. For me, again, my opinion, for what it's worth, a $300 gun that's pushing, that's putting all of its shots inside an inch at 50 yards, to me, I call that a win. And, maybe there's some little thing that can get it to 0.8 of an inch. I personally, I'm not going to spend a week trying to gain 0.2 of an inch. There are some people that will, and that's their thing, and awesome. If you figure out how to get that extra 0.2 of an inch consistently, let me know. I'll be love to know it. I'm not going to be your guy to go do that. I want to give you just the raw stuff, and you guys can go from there. And hopefully that satisfies people's curiosity. Let's see. Let's see. Looks like AEA is really a really solid up and coming brand. I hope they do well. We'll see. I do want to shoot more of their guns, and I'm sure at some point we'll have that opportunity. Oh, this is a great question. First, let me got a couple here. As far as Tanner goes, I would, before I ship that Origin out, I may mess with the hammer spring, but I might not. And from this perspective, if you watch the video, I'm getting 40 usable it doesn't have a ring, but 40 usable full power, good pressure shots. And if I start mucking with that hammer spring, that's going to change that dynamic. 40 shots, I think, is really, really good, and a gun that is that affordable. So I've seen it way too many times where trying to get that extra this much, you lose everything. And that is, again, that's why I shoot it right out of the box. If it works really well, I tend to just leave it. But if it wasn't shooting well and I couldn't get it to group, the hammer spring is an adjustment. Check it over the chronograph, see what I'm getting. That would be an adjustment that I would want to take a look at and then measure it and see how it's doing. Converting the Aspen into a bottle gun, I don't know, might be interesting. I don't know. Well, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I know that I'd have to take a look at that to levy or give her an opinion. So this gentleman's asking a question. Forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce your name. What is best, break barrel or fixed barrel? It's a trick question, really, because I've shot some amazing break barrels, and I've shot some really crappy fixed barrels, and I've shot some amazing fixed barrels, and I've shot some really crappy break barrels. It all depends on how they're built. I have, and I think Brian's seen it and Michael has seen it, but I have a Walther LGV. I sold my LGU to my buddy in Havasu, Noah. Hi, Noah. And the LGV by Walther is a break barrel that is exquisitely built. It was expensive. For a break barrel, I think at the time it might have been $800. So it was definitely an expensive airgun. Sorry, text coming in. And it's a break barrel, and it shoots right up there with any fixed barrel. So I think it really is going to come down to the manufacturer. If in theory, a fixed barrel should be better, but it's only going to be better if everything else is better too. So the barrel's got to be a good barrel. The spring and piston have to be consistent. All of those things have to work right. And if they don't, it doesn't matter if it's fixed or break barrel. It's not going to shoot well. So hopefully that answers your question. But brands like FIREARMS, you can't go wrong with it as TX200. Wyrock, the HW95, HW97. RWS had some great guns. I don't know how that was all working out now, because that's kind of all changed with RWS changing and Umrex not importing, and it's a weirdness. I don't know how that works. But RWS had some beautiful stuff. The 460 is still probably one of the best, if it's still what it was as it was 5-10 years ago. The 460 is an exceptionally good underlever. The RWS 34 is an exceptionally good break barrel. So it comes down to the maker moreover than the design of the product itself as far as break barrel or fixed barrel. Theoretically, fixed barrel should be better, but that just doesn't pan out. It just doesn't work that way. All right. The Commander is actually one of those guns JDP is talking about as Commander and a scope swap. The Beam Commander is one of those guns that is impressive. For the money, it's crazy good. Crazy good. It's my wife. Hold on. I will text you. Okay. Okay. David, good question on the Walther. I don't know what's happened. I wish I had info on that. I don't know. If I could buy an LGU now, I would. The other break barrel, not underlever, the break barrel I wish I could buy, I gave mine away, excuse me, is a SIG ASP20. Not making any more. Exceptionally awesome break barrel. Probably one of the best guns you could buy for the money while it was available, at least domestically. It was wonderful. Don't know. Hey, you took your question, and I was going to answer your question there. Oh, well. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, good question. Eddie is asking me, how's the battery operated portable compressor doing? Outstanding. In the behind the scenes video, you'll see I'm using that compressor to fill up the Origin, and I think it took 2 minutes to top it off. And you know, if you're doing the math, if you get an hour per battery charge, and I'm charging my batteries at 45 minutes. Well, let's say you go 50 minutes, right? If it's 2 minutes, that's going to be 25 charges and 400 shots. Excuse me, 40 shots times two. I look math in my head; it doesn't do well. It's hundreds of shots, right? You get hundreds of shots for a on a charge, and that is awesome. And if you charge it up, you know, maybe once or twice a week, or maybe not even that much. Maybe you're charging it up every 3 weeks. It's going to last you. It's going to work really well. So very, very cool. Let's see. Okay, so why convert a $300 gun into a bottle gun when you can buy a bottle gun already set up? And that would be my question as well. Now, not to offend folks, I'm not an airgun tinkerer. There are so many that are, and I applaud you and I cheer you on. And I think what you do and how you do it and why you do it is just great. It's not me. I'm not a taker aparter of airgun tinkerer person. Give me a computer or a laptop, and I will be inside of that and swapping parts out and having all kinds of fun. But airguns, nope. I like to shoot them as they come and enjoy them, but I'm not one to change one from one and make it into something else. I would just find the something else that does what I want and do that. Now, a lot of people just really love that part of the sport, and you can do that very easily with airguns. Look at all the Crossman stuff, 2240s that have been turned into literally works of art. You should, like Airgun Hobbyists, Tim and those guys, they have just some bits and pieces they've done to like a 2240 that just will blow your mind. And that kind of stuff I really have an appreciation for. It's just not my thing. So I would be right there with you, Airgunner 03. If I wanted a bottle gun, I would get a bottle gun. I wouldn't take a regular gun and try and convert it over. That's me. If other people have a different opinion, awesome. Go convert away. I'll be pleased to see what you create and hope you have a good time with it. What's the best air pistol for the money? The 2240, great gun. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to target shoot, maybe go up to one of the Crossman CO2 T guns, or maybe one of their 10-meter match PCP might be a good option. If you're wanting to hunt, then there's the HW40 or the YROC HW. Forgive me, it's the YROC 44 pistol or the Ottoman AP16, but those are $1,100 guns, so it definitely gets pricey. So if you're 2240 range, I don't know. That's a good gun. It's hard to beat that one. But there's a lot of steps up that you can go. Crossman's probably got the bulk of those as far as readily available, easy to get your hands on. So I would check those out. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. So I think, guys, we talked about the contest giveaway. I want to hit that again. So please, if you haven't entered the contest, right? So if you haven't entered the contest, do so. Please get over here and enter. If you don't want to do Facebook, no problem. You don't want to join our newsletter, no problem. Just click. All you got to do is click on a link. I mean, it's that simple. And yes, you're going to have to give your name and email address, because we'd have no other way to contact you if you won. So, but that information stays with the GTA. It doesn't get shared with anybody. So, join the newsletter if you'd like to, because we're going to be doing something with that here coming up this year. Exclusive specials and discounts and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's going to be worth being part of. And you're not going to get an email every third day. It'll be like once a month. So be worth your time to do that. uh, this is going to be a lot of fun. As we can do more of these contests, I'd like to do one significant contest every month, or maybe every couple months to start. But I like to get to every month we're doing something where somebody's getting something really cool, and it may be that the giveaways are connected to the GRiP reviews. So if you're a manufacturer or you know an airgun manufacturer that would like to get some coverage of their products and people get to know about them, both nuts and bolts and just practical use, the GRiP programs are a great way to do it, and they could roll that into a giveaway is even better. So we're going to be looking to do that kind of stuff all through 2022. So I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. But really, I think, we started a little bit late, but I may end a little bit early if we don't have any more questions today. The Diana pistol is not a bad pistol either. Let's see. Just checking over here. Yep, I'm just looking through it. It looks like you guys are chatting amongst yourself, which is awesome. For that, by the way, and I haven't talked about it today, but I'll throw it up there again. For those that are looking for a place, GTA is a great place, so that's definitely there. But if you want something that's maybe a little more mobile friendly, a little bit easier, I find it a little bit easier personally. No offense, GTA. But I'm going to show you real quick Airgun Army. And many of you guys have already joined Airgun Army, and that's great. I encourage you to keep doing so. But I'll zip over here. Airgun Army is just a simple, I think it's this one. Nope. Forgive me. All right. Airgun Army is just a simple site that allows people to get on and share their airgunning experiences. You can upload photos, you can put posts up there, you can share, you can talk with people, you can talk with other members, you can subscribe to topics. It's a little micro forum essentially, but the reason I put this together is that it really works well, on a cell phone. So like I have people private messaging me, I have people sending me messages on my Airgun Army stuff, which I do tend to pay attention to that. But you can go to Airgun Army, and you have this cool little interface on your phone and be able to just communicate with each other. And I really like that. I love that feature, and just makes things easy. So if you haven't joined Airgun Army yet, please do, because I've got plans for that whole thing in the future as well. Just throw the link here, you guys, if you want to see it. Oh, take a look at that. Actually, I didn't want to go to that one. There. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. And if you guys want to communicate amongst yourselves, please do so. You can do so if you remember the GTA. Start a thread, start a topic on your question, and not only will you get help from your buddies that may be there with you, but gosh, there's thousands of members that are active on that site that I'm sure would be able to help. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm out, and you guys have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year. So that's about it. See you guys.